Hello everyone, long time no see. Thought I'd do a quick video. My last video, I didn't even realize until more recently that it got so many views. So anyways, a lot of people in my kingdom asked me to make another video because they found me on YouTube. I'll just give you a quick update. I think I was around 35 million power last time I did an update, and I was pushing for the city skin, which I got. Pushed up to 73 million power. You can see my gem count's a lot lower. I ended up gemming, a ton of stuff since the last video, gemming lots of power, gemming lots of troops. And I also, what did I do? Oh yeah, I just spun the wheel max, and then we have the more than gems came right after the YSG wheel. So I've spun both YSG wheels 186 times, which is very gem intensive. I don't know exactly how many. And then then more than gems is another 50,000. So yeah, so I'll give a little update on kind of where my account's at. Right now I'm just trying to farm barbs for honor and KVK. Kingsland's about to open, and maybe I'll do some Kingsland fighting videos because that'll be kind of fun. But yeah, honestly, the KVK has been a little boring so far. There's been some little fighting. I think I've went from like 35 million kill points to 98 million, so I've definitely got some fighting in. But it hasn't really been anything crazy. I guess I should. I'm just gonna leave that. I guess I should let it kill. But I do have to honor farm because I have a decent amount of AP, like maybe 150,000 that I need to burn through or something. I haven't done the exact math. But anyways, my count update. My troop count is around. Some of my troops are in the hospital. I guess you can see here around 1 million T5 infantry, 600,000 cav and archers. I'm trying to get up to kind of a couple full marches back of T4 because it is just crazy expensive fighting with T5 all the time in open field. I do have. I mean, I could train I think a lot of troops right now. I have quite a few speed ups left. Yeah, 600 hours almost of these training, 104 hours, 800 hours worth of the 8 hour speed ups. And obviously I have a lot of universals, 122 one day, 1,000 3 hour, 3,200 1 hour. But I'm just waiting to train probably for the Saladin MGE. My commanders, right now I have expertise, Minamoto, just one piece of legendary gear. My cav gear's not that great. I have some legendary infantry gear with an expertise Charles. These are both iconic. I don't know if I picked the most ideal pieces, but I thought the Hope Cloak and this Golden Helm of the Eternal Empire looked like good pieces. I do have quite a bit of materials. I do kind of want to get some legendary gear on my archer set. So I have an expertise Thutmose, which I'm really interested to try out in some big fights. Him paired with YSG absolutely destroys an open field. I have some pretty crazy reports. Maybe I could dig those out sometime. So you'll notice that my expertise, Charles Thutmose, Ethelfled. I don't know if that's normal in KVK1 to have that expertise. Barca, obviously not that big of a deal. You'll notice my YSG isn't expertise. He's 5543, and the only reason he's not is I'm just waiting for the wheel, and we're not doing any fighting. So I may as well get the last wheel's worth of sculptures, and then upgrade him. I do have, I think, 900 universal heads. Yeah, 900 universal heads. So I could expertise him now, but not really any point. Yeah, I haven't really been pushing the El Cid MGEs. I think I came 5th in this one. Just on the last day, we did some had some fights over these whatever they're called in Kingsland, these things. But yeah. So anyways, it's been relatively boring. I definitely want to get into some nice rallies and maybe do some defending and attacking. One thing I'll say is our kingdom is incredibly strong. So if I go to the kingdom rankings here, I think I'm 4th now. I was 3rd. So but all these top players are in my kingdom. And so we have Oshul, Absolute Beast, Crypto Boy, Magnus. I'm not sure about their gear, but I'm imagining it's quite good. I know this player, his gear is very good because he's, even since he was like 35 million powers, dominating the whatever it's called, the Lost Canyon. Um, but yeah, so right now, so anyways, that being said, I don't know if I'll be like always the priority for rally lead or garrison captains, but I definitely have the commanders. I have the gear, and I think maybe I have the best archer march because of the expertise of Thutmose, and the gear's not bad. I want to make the legendary weapon and maybe the legendary chest. I think is that the one that's a crappy stat. Let me just look at that. Yeah, so I think the chest is what I was looking at, and I do have quite a bit of. So if I go here. Where am I even going? I'm not paying attention. If I go into the forge, I do have quite a few patterns I could craft, but I'm waiting to get the rest of my Dragon's Breath bow. If you guys think that's not a good weapon to craft, I think I'll get it soon because there's an event where I can get the weapon pattern, and then the I guess Dragon's Breath plate. I'm having to decide if I should just keep going with my what's it called, infantry gear, or if I should split it up with my archers. I guess splitting up, like having solid gear on several marches, is going to be a little better for I have like basic gear on some of these other marches. It's going to be better for open field, right? If you're running 5 marches and you have 5 marches with decent gear, it's not as optimal for what's it called? Garrison or rally captain. So yeah, let me go through. There's a couple things I'll share. What is this event? Oh, speed ups. I should do this event. Use some speed ups because maybe train some troops because it overlaps with this other speed up event that we have going on here, the training day. Let's see where the ranks are at here. 153,000. I don't even know if that's a lot. Sounds like a lot, but so yeah, I do need to do my honor grind. My honor rank is quite low. I haven't really spent hardly any AP, but I have a ton to spend. So over the next week or so, I'm going to start grinding honor just to make sure I get that done before KVK ends. I think there's 19 days left. So I've heard, KVK 1, it gets exciting in the near the end when Kingsland, people start building in it. Maybe I don't even actually know what our alliances are or anything. I've not been too active in paying attention to what's going on. If I get notifications like, hey, show up here for, this relic or whatever these things are called, I'll show up if I'm available. And I try to be available because I want to get some fighting in. Yeah. So let's see, what else is interesting here to talk about. I definitely, my commander plan right now is I want to expertise YSG after this next wheel, and then I guess Saladin is what I want to push for next. From what I understand, the rest of these commanders are relatively irrelevant. If I can get some more El Cid heads, I hear he can be good in KVK 1, but I'm not really too interested in pushing him that much. I have quite a few expertise epics. 96 heads, but again, I don't really need these epics for anything. I guess I could look at my materials real quick. So I have 39 of these, 311 of these, 174, 870, 331, and then just this raw stuff. I don't know, whatever this adds up to. I have one more iconic crystal I could use. I was thinking about using it on the dragon bow for the archer. I've heard that archers, from my research, are great because the gear, you can go mostly epics and just a couple legendaries, and you'll have pretty solid results. You don't really need to do the whatever it's called. You don't need full legendaries. So that's appealing to me. You know, my theory is with Thutmose is with the support tree, he fires off skills so quickly. And, you know, with all the archer attack bonuses and YSG having all his archer benefits, that's a pretty solid combo, both AoE. Again, I do have some pretty nasty reports from some fights yesterday. Let me go see if I can pull up some of those. There were so many fights I probably won't be able to find them very. Oh, and I killed a ton of barbarians. I should have favorited them next time. Yeah, but I think there's could be some fun videos to do with some fighting during KVK. So I'll definitely plan to do that. I don't really know, what are some things you'd guys like to see? I don't really know. Obviously people are intrigued when you have over 1 million gems. I do not have over 1 million gems now. And I think in some ways I kind of regret in the pre-KVK I gemmed so many troops. Like I probably spent, I don't know, 600,000 gems on troops, which I didn't record. But, it's maybe not the best use of gems, although at the end of the day it doesn't really matter. Let's just use this. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't do that again. It's not a big deal, but there's so many things that are just better to use gems. I do purchase quite a few gems, so it's not the end of the world. But even with this last 2 events, I specifically had to buy like 150,000, no more, like 300,000 worth of gems to complete all the events that I wanted to complete, which I wouldn't have had to do. Like I don't need to do that unless I want to complete those events, which I do. And if I had, oh shit, this guy's saying wait for him. Let's not be a dick. I'm not paying attention at all. Oh, but all his troops are so slow. So one thing that I do, well, you say things, but I might kill him by accident anyways. One thing that I do when I'm doing barbs, I know everybody doesn't have this luxury, is I just run, I don't even think I'm going to get credit for this anymore. Whatever, doesn't matter. Is I run cav on everything. Because I just want it to be fast, right? Not everybody has that much cav, but I just run cavalry with all my commanders just because I just want to get to the targets quickly. And that's why I hate actually doing this stuff with, other people, is because I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just trying to get it done. And like you'll have like people bringing siege and stuff, and it's like I don't want to wait 40 seconds in between every barbs for somebody else. Might sound kind of selfish, but it's just a reality that I'm not going to be able to get stuff done if I wait. So like in situations like this, I don't want to be a dick. I just have to almost leave and go somewhere else where I'm alone. So, which I probably will do. But we'll wait for this guy for a second. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. This is my first KVK. I don't really, my experience has been mostly that it's been pretty boring. And, that's also because nobody really wants to fight me, right? So even during kill events and stuff where people are dueling or doing things, I'll get the occasional duel, but you don't really get fun fights because everybody just runs from you. The last night was fun. I mean, I probably put on like 30 million kill points or something. But yeah, I mean, if you can avoid it, better not to bring these really slow marches, especially when if you end up playing with somebody else. But yeah, using all, obviously, whatever these commanders are called, Pathfinder? Peacekeeping? Peacekeeping commanders for the... Oops, did I not finish this off? Using all peacekeeping commanders, and I'm trying to use commanders that I need experience for, with Minamoto being the exception. But, yeah, just no point in bringing all these commanders that are level 60 already if I don't need to. Obviously experience, you know, it takes a lot of experience to max out all your commanders, and I'm very bad at doing guardians. I almost never do them. Let's see what I bought the other day. I just bought this. Just bought War Machine yesterday. The other thing I forgot the last couple resets is I've missed some of my Sunset Canyon days, which isn't good. I should probably just do this now. Although I shouldn't. But one thing is, I kind of am getting beaten up a little bit here by the other top guys, because one thing is my talents are set kind of bad, because like my Minamoto's peacekeeping right now. I probably shouldn't be. Let's see. Whatever, we'll kill these guys first. My plan was to just kill level 36 plus barbs when I got to Kingsland. But anyway, so, you know, I'm having trouble staying in like the top 3, because even when I'm fully optimized, like the top 2 guys, Oshel and that other guy I mentioned, are really strong. In Lost Canyon, I'm 4th. Not really any difference between these. I rarely even bother trying to push into them unless I'm missing something. And just trying to buy out these patterns, and I'll buy out this maybe and see what I can get out of here. Did I not? Yeah. I have the expedition finished. Relatively easy at this point. I think I finished the last levels without any expansions or anything. This isn't so bad doing this with him when everything's close. I guess if you watch this video, I'm not dissing you per se. I don't really know you. But yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I could, because I could technically just end this video if there's really nothing else to talk about. Let's think about these events really quick. This league bet thing, I don't really know how it works. I'm kind of figuring it out. It seems like this side always wins. The side with the bigger bars. I should probably figure out what's going on there. Mightiest Governor just ended. There's this event. Seems pretty straightforward. Where is the... Yeah, I haven't really read anything. It just seems like you naturally are going to get this stuff. I don't even know if it ever resets. Which way should I go here? Let's go up here. Whatever. But yeah, you know, sometimes it's not hard, but it's sort of annoying to do these events. Let's do this. Usually you can find this stuff pretty quick. Right on the border, down here. Oops, I did not mean to exit the map. Right on the border of this zone. Right around here. Then there's a little pond and a stone wall. See if we can find the pond. This isn't it, is it? Yep. Easy peasy. Oh, one thing that I should be doing and I haven't is, this is my tank march, and I should be making it hit the barbs first, and my marches will last a lot longer. Because this is Richard and Lohar. So he'll pretty much never die or take damage. Yeah, I guess I could kind of give the general layout of the Let's do him first. I could do the general layout of the KVK and kind of what I understand of the, I guess, alliances or whatever. So I used to be in Kingdom 77. They're up here. I would some people there I wouldn't mind getting fighting, but I think we have an alliance with them now. That's what it seemed like last night. 80. These are both, no offense, but very weak kingdoms. 80's very weak from what I can tell. 77's pretty weak. 78's quite strong. I think they have the most active players, but obviously we're the strongest just in terms of we have a decent amount of active players and we have just a ton of whales. Like I was pointing out, if we go into here, 79 has top 5 players. Then you start seeing 78 in there. And 77's players are down here for some stronger players. I think Inferno's a relatively new player, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure exactly how strong he is. I haven't really fought anybody. I fought a couple people that did well. Now this guy's having to wait for me. The pot calling the kettle black here. But yeah, let's see. I guess I don't want to drag this video on too much and just record myself killing barbarians. Probably do some other things while I just drag these troops around. But yeah, if you guys have any tips for what I might encounter when I'm when we're fighting in Kingsland, I mean, I'd love to have my city get hit and take rallies and flags, rally some flags and like whatever. But I think it's doubtful, unless there's some people who I can kind of piss off in chat or something, that I'll take any city hits or anything. But I'd love to if I could, just because I want that experience. I kind of wanted to see what it's like, what the results are. There's definitely a big part of this game where you want to, especially when you've got all these troops and you've got all these commanders, where you really want to try them out in different situations. That's the one thing I would say about this game that I'm not a big fan of. There's really limited opportunities to actually test and try different things. It's really hard to test different skills in different environments. You basically just have to beat on like a ally. So I wish there was just more opportunities to have like major fights. I guess it depends on the kingdom you're in. But yeah, I know there's some big combat changes and things happening. Hopefully that's a positive and not a negative. One thought I've had is if they're making big combat changes, talent changes, and all that stuff, maybe I should hold off on like how much I actually decide to go one direction with certain gear or whatever. Gear, commanders, and all that. But at the same point, you got to play the game, right? I mean, this game requires a ton of patience when it comes to, you're waiting basically months to do anything. And then even when you get to KVK, it's still kind of boring as hell. So, I wish that there was just more opportunities to where, like, if you're on, I know this just isn't how the game works, but if you have time that you can go and fight people and do things, but it's basically like it seems like every few weeks there's like a 1 hour window where there's a fight, and if you're not on, then you just miss it, which is kind of frustrating. But I guess the nature of the game. I'm not really looking forward to going back to kind of the in-between times between KVKs. It's just quite a drag. You kind of log in. It's hard to stay invested in like the caring about events. I do try to finish all the events and, place in the ones that are relevant at all to what I'm trying to do, but it does get hard to care. Anything that takes a little bit of time, and even if the rewards are somewhat meaningful, like for example, something I don't do and maybe I should is the Champions of Olympia. I did it once and I didn't really understand how I could like make a major impact. It just seemed like a big waste of time. And the rewards kind of look crappy, so I don't even know necessarily how to get here. So I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. At some point, you kind of want to be enjoying the things you are doing, and of course, it's hard to enjoy like a massive barbarian grind, but it is such an important part of the game in terms of honor. It's the other thing I need to help build more flags, at least to unlock this. Yeah, but you know, I think I have 6 million kills or something, so I'm really gonna need to. I mean, if there's major fighting that happens and flags and all that stuff, I'll just let all my troops die. I don't really care. I'll fill rallies. I'll lead rallies. I'll defend flags. I've never had my barbarian hitting troops get hit before. Probably would be a pretty soft target because a lot of them have obviously not great talents and not even gear on. So I've thought about that too, is trying to hunt down people doing barbs, but I haven't found that too much. Cake comes with you. I do a bad job of reading chat sometimes. Who's Cake? I'll just let the tank beat on them for a little bit while the siege guys catch up. Okay, yeah, so I guess I didn't really finish this. So what I understand is that 77 and 80 were kind of working with them maybe to some degree against 78. I don't really know. I'm going off that based on the fighting yesterday. We just fought 78. It was some good fighting. They did a good job, but ultimately pretty easy. Mostly 77 just came and fought them with us. But you know, they didn't really put up a fight in these other zones. I imagine there's going to be some pretty heavy fighting once we can build in Kingsland towards the ziggurat or whatever it's called. But yeah, I never even click on this tab. I'm not going to actually. Well, maybe I'll wrap up the video here. I think the only exciting things to really, anyone would maybe care to see is the fighting. So if there's some opportunities to fight, we'll certainly share some of that. If you guys want to give feedback on commanders, certainly do, or pairings. Right now, my kind of primary pair, pairings I'm using in open field is what actually am I using in open field? I think I'm using Charles with Ethelfled, and the idea is Charles gives a damage bonus, and then I'm using Minamoto CC. That's pretty standard. Oh, I wonder if I had my Minamoto with the wrong talents. I might have. Using Minamoto CC, and then Thutmose with YSG is my other one. Richard with what's her face, Joan, and my idea is there Richard doesn't give a bonus damage, so pairing him with Joan makes the most sense. And then who do I put my? Oh, I think I do Barca. I do primary Sun Tzu with Barca. So I don't know if that's optimal. Seems to do okay. It makes sense to me. Putting my, getting that extra archer damage by putting my YSG behind the Thutmose, getting all those skills firing off. That seems to make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, and if you have to run 5 marches, you got to get creative. I know a lot of people run Charles and YSG, but that doesn't make as much sense to me because the Thutmose just seems to do a lot of damage. I haven't had a ton of opportunities to test it. But anyways, I'll wrap up this video. Oh, here's a big group of them. I'll wrap up this video, and we will see what next week brings. Maybe I'll do another video. Yeah, this has been 30 minutes, so I'm sure this is plenty. Most people probably not watching now. All right, talk to you guys later.